use LinkedIn when you're offline. And so today we're going to talk about that. That's today's topic. This is sponsored by my LinkedIn Quick Start Guide. And in 7 steps, I share with you how to make the right connections on LinkedIn so you're no longer kind of wondering and wandering amongst the people and the platform and all the tools and the bells and the whistles, features, functions, all that kind of stuff. They're actually using it on purpose, with a purpose, and for a purpose. And I help you do that with this LinkedIn Profile Quick Start Guide, your LinkedIn Profile Quick Start Guide, helping you to share your story, showcase your value, and giving you kind of like a 7-point action plan for you, a checklist for you to make a difference with your profile. Whether it needs a large overhaul or maybe just a tweak, a quarter turn, this is a great place to start. Some of these things you might be like, Bri, hey, I'm already doing these things. Great. Cool, you're doing the right things. But if you need a little encouragement and insights into some other things maybe you're not doing, this is a great place to start. You can get that for free at brianhorvath.com/LinkedIn-quick-start. And excited that you guys are here. You can download that if you have not downloaded that already. In addition, I just want to let you know every single week the content that is provided here on these shows that I do every single week is driven by your questions, are driven by feedback and comments and concerns and just conversations that come from you, whether it's on social media, on Twitter or LinkedIn itself or Instagram or whatever. That's great, but I love getting questions directly asked specifically by people like you via my little program here, my little website I set up, my little bit.ly link that allows you to ask me your LinkedIn questions. You can go to bit.ly LinkedIn Ask Brian, and what you'll see when you get there is this little screen, just to give you some confidence that when you get there, you're at the right place. You know, you're not fooling around with something you shouldn't be. It's not spam or anything like that, or any kind of malware when you go to that URL that you may not have seen before. This is what you get when you get there. It takes you right to a Google form, and in there you can put in your question. It's a great place for me to get those questions organized so I can answer them for you on shows just like this. So go ahead and go there, and love to have you get that all figured out, or get your questions figured out by getting them asked and using that form to do so. In addition, every single week you can catch this LinkedIn Live Q&A on different channels, including my YouTube channel, which broadcasts live, and then also my Facebook site there at facebook.com/thebrianhorvath, or on Twitter, and so on and so forth. And some of you may be wondering, like, well, why don't you do this on LinkedIn? Well, LinkedIn Live doesn't love you broadcasting about their platform within LinkedIn Live as far as the LinkedIn Live functionalities and features within the platform itself. Sometimes I'll be on LinkedIn Live with this content, but that's reserved more for things that are career development, purpose-driven stuff about your money or about life in general. That's what I'll be using LinkedIn Live for. So just want to follow the protocol that they've asked us to do with best practices, and not talk about LinkedIn on LinkedIn Live within LinkedIn itself. That's a mouthful. But anyway, so you can subscribe today for free, by the way, to get updates of when I go live, and also when I have new videos, new video content that I put on YouTube. You can get that by subscribing. If you haven't done so already, I ask you to do that. Take a moment to do that. Go to brianhorvath.com/YouTube. And it's all about helping you and me, people like you, people like me, know, live, and love the purpose for their career and finances. That's what I get to do on LinkedIn, or excuse me, on YouTube. So go ahead and do that right there. Go ahead and subscribe. I appreciate you doing so. Okay, so that's a little bit of the warm up here for today. And we're going to jump into how to use excuse me, LinkedIn when you are offline. And what do I mean by that? I'm going to share some insights and ideas today about how you can use LinkedIn to build relationships, add to your network, build relationships, all with authenticity. And while you're not necessarily on the platform. Yes, we're going to use the platform. We're going to be online to go offline, if that makes any kind of sense. You'll see here in a second what I'm talking about. But I really want to set you up for success to be able to use LinkedIn in a powerful way that is not just when you're on the platform itself, but when you're out and about, when you're in the marketplace, when you're seeking a new job, when you're at an event, or when you're in an interview. We'll talk about all of that here. But I want to share with you some ways, some thoughts, some processes, some strategies, some tactics, some tricks and tips and hacks, whatever, that you can use LinkedIn to go about your business every single day with purpose, on purpose, and with effectiveness, And my most important thing, especially when it comes to social media, especially when it comes to doing business well on LinkedIn, is with authenticity. It's so frustrating when people are not genuine or disingenuous using the platform. And we see it every single day. And we should expect it, quite honestly. How we deal with it and how we learn from it, that is our choice. But we can't control how folks will use the platform for ourselves, but how we react to it and what we do with that, and authenticity or lack of authenticity, that's up to us. So we're going to give you some frameworks, some ideas, some tactics, or some strategies and tactics today to navigate those kinds of waters. You will separate yourself, my friends, when you are authentic, when you are genuine, when you care, and when you are firmly believing about the product or service or opportunities that you bring to the platform. And sit tight and take some water here. I don't do that enough, so I'm going to be doing that more today. Anyhow, so let's jump in. Let's jump into how to use LinkedIn when you're offline. And let's have a heart-to-heart here. Matter of fact, I'm going to go back on the camera. I'm going to go direct the camera here for a little heart-to-heart with you. Folks, I really want you to use LinkedIn. I kind of shared already a little bit. I kind of stole some of my thunder from the previous conversation about being authentic. Really want to encourage you to remember the purpose of LinkedIn. And this is what, when I coach my clients, when I coach organizations, when I work with sales leaders or folks of influence, and they want to further influence the marketplace with using LinkedIn as a place to do that, I want to have you remember the 3 C's I talk about. The 3 C's are using LinkedIn to connect with people, to connect with organizations, connect with like-minded, like-valued folks, or folks that you see and you have an opportunity with. And that's where we start communicating. We start dialoguing or discussing after we connect. And I don't mean connect just by adding to your connections, but I mean about interacting with people and making an impact on them and them with you. So that's connecting. And then communicating. And I talk about sharing what you do best with those people who need it the most. What do you do best? And sharing it with those who need it the most. And that's kind of coming together. And that's what we call collaborating. So we're connecting, we're communicating, and we're most importantly collaborating as it makes sense on LinkedIn. And so I'm going to ask you, are you set up for success? Are you happy about your profile? Do you like where it's at? Do you like where it's going? Do you like what you have to, what's being said on your profile and how it's representing you and your personal brand? So you got to ask yourself, are you giving LinkedIn your best? I don't mean LinkedIn the company. I mean LinkedIn the opportunity to be able to connect, communicate, and collaborate. And if you're not, why not? Well, let's help you do that. And do you have a LinkedIn profile that you could be proud about, that you are proud about? And if not, where are the gaps? Let's help you do that. Let's help you serve well, my friend. So that's what I want to encourage you with today, is just a little heart-to-heart, eyeball to eyeball. If you were sitting in front of me, it'd be kneecap to kneecap kind of coaching opportunity going, are you using LinkedIn to its fullest? Do you even know what that means? And again, sometimes that can change, right? As you grow in the platform, that can move a little bit. But ultimately, you know right now if you're satisfied with your profile or not. How do we help fix that? And I did talk about already, I'll jump to it real quick. I did talk about already the guide that I have for you, okay? Your LinkedIn profile quick start guide can help you get ready really quickly, So don't forget about that. But really just wanted to have that heart-to-heart with you as we work through the rest of today's little session here. Are you giving it your best? Are you satisfied? And why or why not? Okay, so let's keep going. Here. So I want you to be able to use LinkedIn for a couple things here when you're offline. One is to prepare for a meeting. So let me take a step back and just say, so we're not confused here. How to use LinkedIn when you're offline is using it when you're online. Using it when you're online and using it for all you've got, all it's worth, to be able to prepare for those offline conversations, those offline interactions, offline meetings, and so on and so forth. And it could be an online meeting too, right? In a Zoom or something like that. But I just mean while you're not on the platform, you can still use LinkedIn in all its power. So this could be a client meeting, right? A meeting with a prospective client even as well. This could be a relationship starter with a potential friend or a mentor or coach, or maybe you're the mentor, coach, or friend. They reached out to you. So you can use LinkedIn to get prepared for that kind of meeting. How about a networking coffee? Maybe you're just seeing about somebody in your industry. Maybe you're seeing about somebody in your circle of influence, whatever the case may be. How about a marriage meeting? If you need to know more about your spouse, you can go to their LinkedIn profile. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding about that one. Well, maybe not, but and so on and so forth. There are many meetings, different kinds of meetings that can be used. We can use LinkedIn for. And what do I mean by that? I want to help you prepare for that meeting, right? I want to help you prepare for that meeting. And how do you do that? How do you prepare for that meeting? You're going to go to some LinkedIn hotspots within people's profiles or a couple places that can help you make connections work or help you make connections more readily. Okay. So keep this in mind. You can use LinkedIn in a big way when you're preparing for a meeting. And by the way, if if you have any comments or ideas, or you have any questions, please go ahead and add them to wherever you're watching this at. So here's a user on Facebook saying, "Hi, Brian. Hi, welcome to the party." And if you have any questions, you can go ahead and post those there as well. I'd love to get them on there that way as well. If you haven't asked them another way, you can ask them via the comments or whatever social media channel that you're watching this on today. Okay, so back to the hotspots in your profile. What do I mean? There are a couple places in people's profiles that can quickly get you ready for a meeting. And by the way, I would encourage you to maybe take a look at using this bad boy. If you don't have the LinkedIn app already, you need to, because it's a great place in a jiffy or in a quick way. Get ready for a meeting. Maybe it's in a parking lot. You can get ready for a meeting, or maybe while it's before you get there, you go to your office first and you're taking some notes on the meeting that you're going to be having with somebody. And depending on what kind of CRM you may use, there's ways for LinkedIn to be integrated into that CRM, customer relationship management software, right? And so, there's all kinds of ways to prepare using LinkedIn, because LinkedIn is a place where people go and put information about them and their experiences, right? That allows you to make conversation, allows you to find connections so that you can communicate well and collaborate. That's what we're after here, right? And make no mistake, LinkedIn's not going to be apologizing for that, and we shouldn't. Now, how somebody goes about their business, that could be something someone should be apologizing for, right? Without authenticity, with bait and switch, with not being upfront and transparent and honest. And I'm not saying being over the top, direct, be a jerk, but be transparent, be authentic, be encouraging, but also be clear about what you want to have conversations about. Let me take a step off the soapbox here. But hotspots in people's profile, write this down. Write this down. This is your engagement opportunity, is their headline. Obviously, you want to see in their headline keywords that they put in their headline. And what do? Where are they working at today, possibly? And okay, those are important things to know, right? What are those things that may jump out to you that would be a conversation starter? All right, and in today's world too, we should not be afraid to share if we need help a little bit in starting a conversation. Is introduce the fact that, hey, I was checking out your LinkedIn profile. Nice job, by the way, and I saw in it a couple things like this, and that, or that, this, and that, and the other. You can use that as a lever to move the conversation ahead. And again, it can also be a great place for you to encourage them to take a look at your profile as well. And I ask, are you satisfied with it? Are you happy with it? Would you be comfortable even sharing that they should look at your profile? And if not, maybe that's why you're here, and we're going to help you make that a place where you can be comfortable and confident and excited about it. The other thing you want to look at in a hotspot, number 2, is location. Location. Where are they from? Where are they working? Again, depending if this is an in-person, face-to-face, or a remote meeting, it's nice to see. Maybe you have a brother or in-law in that town. Or maybe you're from that same town. Or maybe there's a town you were adjacent to that town. That can really create an opportunity for you to have conversation, to get the ball rolling, to be able to have those conversations be meaningful, authentic, genuine, and with a purpose. And how about their featured section? Not everyone has a featured section today, but a featured section is an important part for you to also have in your profile that highlights work that you've done that you're excited about. Maybe awards you've received, maybe recommendations or certain credentials, maybe there's a video, maybe there's a blog post, and maybe there's different content you want to pin to your featured section from someone else that says a lot about who you are, what you believe, and what you're all about. So their featured section can really stand out to you as a place to make a connection opportunity with that person, to show where you should be communicating and how you possibly could be collaborating. Excuse me, a little itchy nose, allergy season here for me, I guess. Also, their work experience. For a lot of people, that might be the place they jump to really quickly. Oh, what are they doing? What have they done? What do they do at the company they're working at currently? What have they done in the past? All in all, your work experience is, or their work experience is important to see what they're trending in their career. And again, depending on the conversation about what the meeting's about, that can prove very valuable for you as you prepare offline or online for an offline conversation, right? So keep that in mind. Volunteer work, this is a great place to check into someone's heart. What are they excited about? What are you excited about? And how you can help them, or how they can help you, or how you can connect on conversation pieces about what they volunteer about, right? Because where they're putting their volunteer time, unless it's work mandated or something, really says a lot about what they care about. And that's a great place for you to have conversation with them. Okay. So keep that in mind as well as a great spot for you to connect in a meeting setting. Now, again, some of these things don't come up in a meeting if you're a participant in a meeting, or if you're leading a meeting, you may not have the time to go into it with every person in that meeting, but it would really help, especially if you have an assistant in the work you do or someone that can assist you, by pulling out profiles or pulling out just a quick, downloading their profile PDF, which gives you a quick printout, quick black and white. What I mean by that is a quick overview of what they do, who they are, and helps you to scan it as you prepare for your meeting. You may even print out a bunch before you leave your office or leave your home and sit in the parking lot, or get to the meeting early and go over those kinds of things to make the right connections there. And the last one I'll share with you is education. Where do they go to school? Where are they going to school now? Those are cool things that allow you to connect and collaborate. Maybe you're alumni of the same school or institution. Okay. So all that kind of stuff is stuff to be considered. I will say this as well. Something that is really neat is maybe you're actually meeting them because they were introduced to you, or you were introduced to them through a third party, right? In this case, on LinkedIn land, it's you are a connection of a connection, or maybe a connection of their connection of their connection, right? So first level, second level, third level, deep, whatever the case may be, it really is cool for you to be able to jump in to their profile and see where or who you both know mutually, right? So that's really neat to be able to do that. And let's see if I can just pull that up real quickly for you guys. Try to get that to show you what I'm talking about here. Okay, so if we're on LinkedIn, right up here, if we're on LinkedIn and I go to, let me type in, I was doing this a little bit early in preparation. Let me type in Bruce Smith, who's a friend of mine and client of mine. And Bruce and I have 94 mutual connections. You can see that, right? So if I'm about to meet with Bruce, I would want to click on, right? I would want to click on his mutual connections perhaps, and just do a quick scan and see, who do I know that he knows? Who does he know that I know? And you can see there's a lot of pages here, but it might make sense for you to be able to do that really quickly. And up top, you can even dive into first level, second level, third level, even look at locations of where they may be. Let's say, who does Bruce know that I know in Greater Tampa Bay? Okay, Latanya, Barb, Jim, Karen, James, Gerald, Patrick, Scott, Christy. So a bunch of folks and are within my own town that Bruce and I both know in we have the same people in our network. So that's pretty cool. Now here's another one. This is another client of mine, Wills Moore. He does great work in the HR space. He's a strategic HR consultant, executive coach. We only have 9 connections. Now, one of those same connections is Bruce Smith, who I just went over his profile with you. And the cool thing about that is that Bruce introduced me to Wills, and Wills became a client out of me connecting with Bruce and knowing Bruce. So you can do that same kind of stuff on LinkedIn. Don't discount this whatsoever. So I just want to share with you how important it is to go to your profile, type in someone you may be meeting with. Let's pick on a third one, my buddy Harry, and say I'm meeting with Harry. And who does Harry know that I know? Who does Harry know that I know as well? And then let's look at that and then get information about all that, of those kinds of people. And that's what's really neat when you come to have conversation with folks. It's another opportunity for you to connect. So those are some quick hot spots within people's profile. This is a prepare for a meeting. So the hotspots in your profile are headline, location, featured section, work experience, volunteering, also education, and then search for like connections, first level, second level connections. And sometimes when you're doing this kind of research as well, you find questions or opportunities for folks to introduce you to people that you may not know directly as well. So it's really neat to see how your brain gets working when you start working and preparing for the meetings that you have. So really exciting. I really encourage you to do that. And I'd love to hear from you what you think about that once you start engaged in that mind process, or that process you got to put your brain to work to. All right, let's talk about the next one. We want to prepare for an interview. And this is the heart to heart I was trying to share with you earlier. The heart to heart is, are you excited about your profile? Are you excited about how it shares your story? Does your profile showcase your value? And if it doesn't, I want to challenge you to be able to get it up to par, to get it to a place where you're going to be excited about it. Because if it's not, it won't show well for you in a job search, and it also won't help you prepare for an interview. Now, Brian, what do you mean? How is it going to help me prepare for an interview? Well, in your LinkedIn profile, you're sharing your story. You're sharing sometimes your career, always your career story, but you're also going to be sharing your personal story. And depending on the kind of work you're going to interview for, one may weigh more heavily than the other, or they may work together in different ways. But you also want to showcase your value, right? And it's easy to forget during the nervousness or the butterflies in your stomach about an interview, about remembering the things you've done and the things you've accomplished. Well, LinkedIn helps you remember all that, because if you work on it in a non-stressed way, in a more comfortable way over time, building your LinkedIn profile, then you get to share your story, showcase your value, but you're doing it just for your profile's sake, meaning you're building your profile, you're writing your profile, and that gets you prepared for an interview. Now, what if it's been a while since you've updated your profile? Well, get back in it and start preparing it, or perfecting it, or making it better, so that you can be ready to share it in an interview. That gets you prepared. Yes, your resume, but also your LinkedIn profile. It gives you opportunity to not only shine, to polish it, make it shine, but also get you prepared how you share your story, how you showcase your value, and so on and so forth. So just an encouragement to you that your profile on LinkedIn can also serve you. And I encourage my career clients that I coach in career transition or career development, is that when they're out there in the job hunt and they're out there in the job search and they're having conversations, your resume is for you as a tool as much as it is for the employer or the interviewer, as you to help you remember what you've done and how you do it well and who you do it for and why you're better than the competition, or more appropriate for them to hire you than the competition might be. So don't be afraid to lean on it. That's why you print multiple resumes, yes, for the interviewer, but also for you to have in front of you as well, so that you can refer back to it. Okay. Same thing with LinkedIn. You may not sit there with your phone in front of the interviewer with your LinkedIn profile, but getting it ready, getting it prepared, looking at it ahead of time, gets you in a place in bite-sized chunks and nuggets to share your story, showcase your value. So I just want to encourage you with that. It's a refresher, that heart to heart. Okay. And also it helps you to be prepared to share it in the meeting, or to share it. Say you're walking through the office and you're trying to connect with people there. You're not going to hand out 1,000 resumes, but you can share your profile. And you can share it through a QR code. Go over to my YouTube channel and look up my 2-minute LinkedIn hot tips, and you'll see how you can create a QR code with your LinkedIn profile right within LinkedIn. You can save it to your phone and quickly go, hey, let's connect. And you have them scan your LinkedIn QR code. Again, may not be for you, but if it is, there's a great opportunity to not miss a connection opportunity in the quick world that we live in. So use it to prepare for an interview, and remember our heart to heart there. Okay, next, help you prepare for an event. Any event you're going to go to, if you're going to invest your time, talent, and dollars, especially with gasoline, if you're driving to a specific event, you need to be on purpose. And it's why I share, it's why my tagline is helping you and me know, live, and love the purpose for our career and finances. Well, this doesn't change when it comes to going to an event. When it comes to going to a career building event, know your purpose for the event. Get prepared to live it out well, because I guarantee you, when you are prepared, you're positioned, and you're on purpose, man, what a difference you'll walk away with, and the effectiveness that you'll carry with you, and the joy you'll experience, and the moves that you'll be able to make, the opportunities you'll be able to close when you are prepared. And way to prepare for an event is to use LinkedIn. So the events I'm kind of thinking of here is at a job fair. Is your LinkedIn profile ready? Are you ready to share it quickly. I just talked to you about the QR code thing. A job fair is a great way to have a QR code ready to go. And not just for those folks that are there behind the tables that have potential jobs for you, but also other job seekers who are networking. And if you can connect with them and network with other job seekers, they can keep an eye out for you. Man, wouldn't it be great to be connected on LinkedIn? So be prepared to do that. Opportunity comes. What was that old saying? Luck is when opportunity meets preparedness. Luck, opportunity meeting preparedness. So don't miss the opportunity. Let's be lucky every single day. In addition, preparing for an event could be an industry networking event, very specific, very niched, very focused. You want to be prepared. And why? Know who's going to be there, figure out what companies or figure out what representatives are of those companies are going to be there if you can, and maybe even reach out to the organizer. Hey, do you have a list of people that are going to be there? Maybe there's keynote speakers at this event. Check out their LinkedIn profile, get to know about them, do the research in advance. That's how you use LinkedIn when you're online, so you're more prepared to use LinkedIn when you're offline. It's using LinkedIn as that lever, as that tool, as that resource to be prepared, including community networking events. You're going to a community networking event, maybe at a school, maybe at the park, maybe it's a pool party, whatever the case may be. Depending on the kind of conversation that will be had there, maybe LinkedIn can help you. Okay, even in your own company, if it's a large company mixer and you work in a thousands of people work at your company, you're not going to be knowing everyone there. Take a look at your company's information. Take a look at your company's leadership. Who's hosting the party? Who's leading the party? Go look them up on LinkedIn. And you know what's cool is, here's a quick little tip. Here's a quick little tip to break the ice very quickly if you don't like networking events so they can feel awkward to you. Get to know who's going to be there in advance. Connect with them or communicate with them in advance to that party via LinkedIn. That way, it really quickly, you have something to conversate with them when you get to the party other than the weather. Okay, there's opportunity for them when they connect with you. They may have looked at your profile. They may be the ones seeking you out. I'm just saying this is a great opportunity for you to connect, communicate, and collaborate offline when you've prepared yourself while online using LinkedIn. And here's a quick little tip. You can maybe even escape to the bathroom. Okay. You can escape to the bathroom to read the LinkedIn profile of the person you're about to meet. But I would just say make sure it's in private viewing. I don't mean the restroom. I mean your profile viewing. Let me show you what I mean by that. I don't know about you, but I'm getting a kick out of this for myself. All right, so when you prepare for an event, again, you need to always be ready. You need to always be ready. I'm going to give you that LinkedIn little tip here in a second, but I want you to always be ready. And it's like what we tell my kids. I'm a head coach of my son's little league team, and it's interesting. 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds, and 8-year-olds. We're like, okay, this ball is hard. Be baseball ready, right? Be prepared. So again, back to, you're not going to get lucky if that ball finds your way into the glove unless you're prepared for the opportunity of that ball coming to you. So the same thing here. Always be ready, my friends. Always be ready. So at that event, always be ready. And if you find yourself need to kind of ditch off, and go to the restroom and look at that LinkedIn profile, the person you've been wanting to meet or you saw there, you want to go connect with, and you can't remember what you prepared for, or you forgot to, then you can go into what's called private viewing mode. And I don't mean in the restroom, but I mean in LinkedIn land. And that's by going to your settings. You go to your settings and you click on visibility and you turn off your ability for folks to see that you've been viewing or have been scrolling around on LinkedIn, connecting with people or looking at different profiles. You can turn that off. So instead of them seeing Brian Horvath, they would see anonymous LinkedIn member. Okay. So that is the place, right in settings. And let's go ahead and just show you how to do that. Let's go right into settings. Let me go over to Chrome here, pull this back up. And let me show you right in settings. You're going to go over to right up top. Let me make that a little bigger. Right up top, you're going to click on where it says Me. Scroll down under Account, Settings, and Privacy. You're going to come over to the left-hand side. It says Visibility. Click Visibility. And then on the top one, Profile Viewing Options. Choose whether you're visible or viewing in private mode. You click Change. Right now, I have folks can see my full profile, which I'm 99.99% okay with, unless I need to go into private mode. I'll click Private, and usually it saves on its own. Excuse me. Let me make sure it's saved. Close. Yep, it's saved on its own. It's in private mode now. Okay, so I just want to encourage you that you can do that, and by going to settings and going to private mode. That way you can search for folks on LinkedIn and have them be able to not have them see that you're doing so. All right, so challenge. Little challenge for you guys. I'm all about you putting this stuff into action. I'm all about having you guys putting this stuff to work for you, right? If you invested in being here and you guys are here watching this now, whether in person right now or later on in a replay or something like that, then it's important for you to know that you have taken steps. I want you to take steps. I want you just to I want you to be proactive, not just reactive, right? Right now, you're being reactive, you're learning, but I want you to be proactive putting this to work. Okay, and so Facebook user, unfortunately, just tells me the Facebook user has a question as I jump in real quick. Does that work on both mobile app and website? Are you talking about mobile? Are you talking about the private viewing? If you're talking about private viewing, yes. So once you turn that on, whether it's you're browsing on mobile, or if you're browsing on the website itself, the desktop or whatever, yeah. So turning on private mode doesn't matter where you're viewing from. That mode carries across all these platforms: desktop, tablet, mobile. Awesome. Thank you for that. Thanks for the question. If anyone else has any more questions in that vein, we'll get to those here in a second, but I thought that was appropriate to address now. Okay, challenge. So I want to challenge you guys again to take action. And we had that heart to heart earlier, right? About you making a change in your profile where you're at. So Brian, now what? I'm all about action. I want you to be prepared, like the Lion King. That's part of that. Be prepared. We said be prepared. Be prepared for what? Be prepared for those interactions, those opportunities to connect, communicate, and collaborate. Using the power of LinkedIn, the 800 million plus people that are on the network, on the platform, 200 plus countries. It's amazing how LinkedIn has grown leaps and bounds. But if you're not prepared with it, then what's the point? It's not going to make a difference for you. So I want you to be able to lean in and leverage, if you haven't already, the things that I share with you in my free guide, your LinkedIn profile quick start guide. If you've not got it already, it's a nice one-pager checklist that will guide you through 7 little steps that you can make today to help you make the right connections on LinkedIn. And you can get that at brianhorvath.com/LinkedIn quick-start. So go ahead and get that today. Don't miss getting that. And I appreciate that you do it. When you get it, you also get a little companion video that will come alongside where I'll walk through it in a little bit more detail to help you make the most out of LinkedIn. So great stuff here, guys. The recap for you today. Again, the recap for you is to be prepared using LinkedIn when you're online so that you can be ready to go offline, to look like the superhero that you are, to share your story, showcase your value, but also be prepared to seek to serve those who need most what you do best. And what can help you do that is this massive, awesome database of LinkedIn. The database that allows us to see the professional networks that we have established or that we want to establish and make a difference doing that. Again, you will separate yourself, my friend, when you seek to serve those who need most what you do best. When you put yourself second, when you see with different eyes and perspective how to use the 2 main purposes of LinkedIn that I share in all my courses and in my coaching and things like that. This is the place to get that done. Just got to swing the bat. Just got to swing the bat. So the recap for you: prepared for meetings, client meetings, networking meetings, online, offline, like meeting Zoom or in a coffee shop. Maybe it's also being prepared for a presentation. Get to know the players in the room. Use LinkedIn to be able to do that. Okay, huge opportunity there. Also, we talked about preparing for an interview, allowing you to get a refresher about your own work history, your own career journey, right? If you've worked on LinkedIn over the years, you have that in there already. Just go in and make quarter turns, quarter tweaks. Start sharing that profile with confidence, with clarity. Be excited about it. If you're not there yet, get that quick start guide. Reach out to me for coaching if you're interested in coaching one-on-one. People like to do one-on-one stuff because it's tailor-made, custom-made for them. I'm available to do that. Or also, you want to prepare for those events. And as COVID is dying down, more and more people are out there networking, engaging, getting connected. LinkedIn is a huge opportunity today for you to separate yourself from the competition and to bring people along with you as well. So really helped you today. I'm excited that you guys are here. If anyone has any questions, you can go ahead and ask them. If you haven't got the LinkedIn Profile Quick Start Guide, go ahead and get it. And again, we do these every single Wednesday at noon, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'd love to have you, whether on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, whatever the case may be. I also post these videos up. I have a whole library there, 100 plus videos of you helping you know, live, and love the purpose for your career in finances, including using LinkedIn as well. Go check it out. And I also do 2-minute LinkedIn hot tips every Friday, little things you can use before the weekend to leave well on LinkedIn as you get ready for the weekend and relaxing. So we can take some questions now. You can also drop your question throughout the week or even now at bit.ly/LinkedIn Ask Brian. And when you get there, this is what you'll see. It's a little Google form. You just drop in some information there. It allows me to collect these questions into my spreadsheet so I can run through them and get them answered. And this is really, those questions what fuel this program. So going a little longer today, but some great content. I think some things you could think about, whether in a job search, whether in a client acquisition mode, or whether you're just seeking to network for a further time in the future that you're not sure what's going to happen, which is always good. Planting seeds now. I hope you enjoyed this. Love to hear your comments. Love to hear you see that you're liking, subscribing to my YouTube channel, and just getting that quick start guide as well if you haven't already. So if any questions beyond some that have come in already, I'd love to get those answered for you. Great tips. Definitely checking into the QR code video. Awesome. Thank you. Love it. Thank you, Facebook user. There's a way for folks to be able to you can click on there and allow my software to see your profile, actually bring you in. But it's kind of funny because those of us that use this called Ecamm, we always kind of get a kick out of that. But great tips. Definitely check into the QR code video. Awesome. Yeah, it's a quick little easy way for you to share that QR code in many different settings. So go ahead and check it out and like and subscribe. Thanks. Awesome. Any more tips or questions, be glad to answer them. All right. Awesome, guys. Well, so thankful to have all of you here for this LinkedIn Live Q&A session today. Again, I get so much out of learning it myself, putting it together. A lot of stuff I just kind of know, but a lot of it, some of them, I'm like, oh, well, that's a new way to think about that maybe, or let me run this by my folks that follow and hang out, and so, or folks that are connected to my newsletter or whatever the case may be. So I really appreciate you hanging out, appreciate your engaging. Just want to continue to educate, equip, and encourage as I can to help you and people like me to know, live, and love the purpose for your career and finances. So have a great day, everybody. I appreciate you. Go get them.